There isn't a shortage of fast cars. Park anything with 400 horsepower next to the 911 and on paper it holds up. Acceleration is similar, grip is similar, sometimes it's quicker, and yet 911 remains the reference point. For decades, motoring journalists haven't compared sports cars to each other, they've compared them to the 911. Open any group test from Autocar, Evo magazine or Car and Driver. And the question isn't, is this good? The question is this as good as a 911? And that raises an interesting question, not is the 911 any good, but why everything else keeps being measured against it. Because on paper, there's never a shortage of alternatives. Take the Jaguar F-Type, it did not arrive quietly. Supercharged V8, rear drive, active exhaust which dominated the whole experience. It wasn't trying to out-engineer the 911, it was trying to out-feel it. And with noise, movement and drama, it was a car that made every journey feel like an occasion. Let's look at the Aston Martin Vantage. Lower, wider, more aggressive than anything Aston had done before. This was style buttered with intent. A car positioned directly into 911 territory, but with a different kind of appeal. Material quality, presence, and a sense of occasion even before you turn the thing on. And then let's change the tone. The Nissan GTR, it didn't care about theatre or occasion, it went straight for the numbers. A sledgehammer twin-turbo V6, launch control, all-wheel drive, and lap times that made the whole industry take notice. And around the Nürburgring, it wasn't a rival, it was a problem. Each of these cars, in their own way, looked like the answer. Different philosophies, different strengths, all circling around the same idea. And that's build something compelling enough to make the 911 no longer the default. And it almost works. The F-Type delivers something the 911 doesn't. Rawness, sound, unpredictability, and the Vantage brings a level of design and precision that the 911 doesn't prioritize. And the GTR, at its peak, simply outpaces it, especially when the road conditions are less than ideal. But the comparison doesn't stop at first impressions. And you live with these things for a while, and the brief starts to stretch. The F-Type becomes something you choose for the experience, not necessarily something that you would drive every day. And when the Vantage leans into its identity, that identity itself pulls it away from direct comparison. And the GTR solves performance, but introduces other compromises in weight, feel, and usability. And that's where the tension sits, because none of these cars are lacking and they're just pulling in different directions. And while all of this is happening, the 911 doesn't stand still. It's evolving quietly and consistently. And what I'm getting at here is not that these cars have failed. Far from it. The F-Type might be the more memorable drive on the right day. The Vantage is going to feel more special, and the GTR in the right conditions is going to be the more effective point-to-point machine. But none of them have managed to replace the 911, because the 911 wasn't just solving one problem. It was solving all of them at once. And every time a competitor gets close in one area, they expose another. And so the benchmark doesn't collapse, it just resets. And here's the part that's easy to miss. The industry hasn't been failing to beat the 911. You could say it's been approaching the question from the wrong direction. Because the 911 isn't the best at one thing, it's the one that never really gives anything up. And that's why after all this time, it's still the one that everything else is measured against. Thanks for watching. I'm Lee from Duck and Wild Magazine. Drop us a like and subscribe to the channel if you got some value here. We sell a print magazine on duckandwildmag.com. Go and take a look. We do these every week, and I'll see you in the next one.